Hello, I'm Jonasz Lewiński and this is Break the Fake. They make them, we break them and tell you everything you need to know. And can you see what I've got? A NATO lapel pin. I'm quite sure Senator Mike Lee of Utah is going to love it. Anyway, let's talk about Venezuela's dictator, Nicolas Maduro, a man who's so disconnected from reality that he probably thinks 1984 was a documentary on how to run a country. Recently, Maduro asks his people to delete WhatsApp because, according to him, it is being used by fascists to spread violence. Oh my. It gets even better though. Maduro also blocked X, formerly known as Twitter, for a few days because, maybe it's easier to fake an election victory when people cannot post about it. Talk about trying to put out a fire by banning smoke detectors.
Por Telegram, a pesar de que metieron preso a su presidente en esa política de persecución, de presión máxima, de chantaje para torcerle el brazo a las redes sociales y de comunicación alternativas que hay en el mundo. El abuso del poder en el mundo, persiguiendo para someter.
And now, in a plot twist that no one saw coming, Maduro is rushing to the defense of Telegram CEO Pavel Durov, who's facing legal trouble. Maduro says Durov's arrest fits into the policy of maximum pressure and coercion against alternative communication networks. Yeah, I'll say that again. The guy who's been censoring his own people is now the champion of free speech and free communication. I imagine it's as if the fox joined a support group on the treatment of poultry. And now, let's move on. Russia's foreign minister Sergei Lavrov, the Goebbels to Putin's, Lavrov recently got his Gucci underpants in a twist over discussions about Ukraine possibly using Storm Shadow missiles for strikes deep inside Russia. He called it blackmail. Yes, because in his world, defending yourself from an unprovoked invasion is apparently the real crime here. Like a burglar calling the cops because he tripped on your kid's Legos as he broke in.
Это шантаж, это попытка сделать вид, что Запад хочет избежать чрезмерной эскалации, но на самом деле это лукавство. Запад не хочет избежать эскалации, Запад, по-русски говоря, нарывается. И мне кажется, это уже очевидно всем. Я приводил уже как-то раз высказывание господина Кирби, представителя Совета национальной безопасности, как я понимаю, или Белого дома по стратегическим коммуникациям. Он где-то пару месяцев назад сказал, что эскалация опасна, потому что крайне нежелательно довести дело до мировой войны, так как из-за нее пострадает Европа. И он недавно снова это повторил.
Now, in case you spaced out for a bit, Lavrov casually mentioned that Russia's nuclear weapons doctrine is currently being clarified. Oh good, honestly, nothing says rational discourse like vaguely threatening to tinker with your nuclear policy. It's like telling your neighbor, hey, just so you know, I'm thinking about clarifying my thoughts on burning down your house. Totally normal, totally. Lavrov is upset that Ukraine might defend itself. He's accusing the West of escalating tensions that Russia created, and he's hinting that Russia might just rethink its nuclear strategy. It is a masterclass in projection and deflection, but who can blame him? When your country's plan for world domination is going off the rails, why not just point fingers and mumble about nukes? Stay classy, Sergei. By the way, I'm quite sure that Sergei Lavrov is a man who believes that the Borderlands movie was actually good. Yeah, he is that cringe. But if you thought we're done with Lavrov, think again. Russia's favorite spin doctor was at it again later on in that very same press conference, this time declaring that all these so-called peace formulas floating around are from the evil one. Yeah, that's the direct quote there, the evil one. But Lavrov doesn't stop there, oh no. He goes on to say that if the West really wants to fix the situation in Europe, they need to sit down at the negotiating table and start talking honestly.
Но спровоцировать нас не удастся. А все вот эти вот бюргенштоки и формулы мира, так называемые, ну, это от лукавого. Если Запад действительно заинтересован, потому что здесь дело не в Зеленском. Если Запад заинтересован нормализовать ситуацию в Европе, от которой уже сами европейцы стонут и страдают, то надо садиться за стол переговоров спокойно, без каких-либо бумажек в руке под названием «Формулы Зеленского», и по-честному начинать разговаривать. Президент подтвердил, что мы к этому были готовы. Я сейчас привел 3 примера, когда мы поддерживали такие переговоры.
By the way, I wonder what kind of negotiating table do they have in mind? Is it Putin's infamous massive table the size of USS Gerald Ford by any chance? That could prove convenient. Zelensky saying, "We are presenting our proposals," and Putin saying, "Well, I can't hear you. Are you saying you're surrendering unconditionally?" Anyway, the only kind of honest messaging coming out of the Kremlin is that they do not aim for peace. But Sergei Lavrov did wrap it all up by saying that negotiations with the West will only happen after Russia's victory in the war. Like a boxer refusing to shake hands until after he's knocked out his opponent, except in this case, the match is dragging on and Russia's not exactly landing those knockout punches. Far from it. We've got the Sergei trifecta. He dismisses peace efforts as evil, calls for honest talks while his country is busy lying and invading, and then says negotiations will only happen after Russia wins a war it is struggling to win. I mean, that is an instant classic. And now we've saved you a treat for the very end. We've got a clip of Ramzan Kadyrov, the Chechen leader himself, trying to look very tough by doing push-ups. Think of it as a mix between a workout video and a comedy skit, because watching Kadyrov trying to convince us he's the epitome of strength is about as convincing as Russia's navy strength these days, especially in the Black Sea. I want to feel it day and night, my workout, my delight. You are the power of my life. I want to pump it better. Like yesterday, guess the lyrics and tell us in the comments. By the way, Kadyrov may actually find a use for increased musculature, other than more TikTok posturing, that is. When his Tesla Cybertruck breaks down somewhere in rural Chechnya, he won't even need to call assistance. Especially since, as we know, assistance in Russia can be a bit unreliable. Don't believe me? Well, ask Armenia. And with this, we conclude this episode of Break the Fake. Please stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news and comments.